Good day everyone, my name is Kausalya Ramesh and today our group will be discussing a very relevant and important topic in modern education, traditional learning versus blended learning. Education has changed dramatically over the past few years. The way students learn today is very different from how students learned 10 or even 5 years ago. With rapid technological growth and major global events like the COVID-19 pandemic installed around the world were forced to rethink how learning should take place. This shift has created ongoing discussions about which learning method is more effective, traditional class learning or blended learning. Before we compare them, let's first understand what each one means. What is traditional learning? Traditional learning is the conventional method of education where teaching happens face to face in a physical classroom. Students attend school, college or university in person and the teacher delivers lesson directly to the class. In the setup, students sit in classroom, teachers explain concepts on whiteboards or projects. Class discussion happen physically, exams are conducted in person, attendance is usually majority. Traditional learning has been the foundation of education for centuries. It focuses heavily on direct interaction between teachers and students. The environment is structured, scheduled and guided by the instruction. For many people, this is the normal way of learning because it has been practiced for generations. What is blended learning? Blended learning, on the other hand, is a combination of traditional face-to-face learning and online learning. It integrates technology into education. Instead of relying on a class section, students are also use digital platform to access material, submit assignments, attend virtual classes, and complete online assessment. In blended learning, some classes may happen physically, some lessons may happen online through platforms like Zoom. Lecture records are available for review. Assignments are submitted through systems like Google Classroom or Moodle. Online quizzes and discussion forums are common. So instead of choosing between online or physical classes, blended learning combines both methods to create a more flexible learning experience. Why did many instructions shift to blended learning? One of the biggest reasons for shift the blended learning was the COVID-19 pandemic. During lockdown, schools and universities could not operate physically. To ensure the education continue, instruction moved to online platform almost overnight. Teachers had to adapt to virtual teaching and students had to adjust to learn from home. However, even after pandemic restrictions were lifted, many institutions continue using blended learning. Why? There are a few key reasons. First, technology has become more advanced and accessible. Learning management system, video conferring tools and online resources are now widely available. Second, blended learning offers flexible. Students can review record lectures, access material anytime, and manage their class schedule better. Third, instructors realized that technology can enhance learning rather than replace traditional technology. As a result, many universities now use a hybrid model instead of returning fully to traditional methods. Why is the topic important for online students? This topic is especially important for online students because they experience blended learning directly. Online students depend heavily on digital platforms. Their learning experience is shaped by internet access, recording materials, online discussion, and virtual communication. At the same time, some online students may still attend concentration face-to-face section for exams. This makes blended learning highly relevant to the academic success. Understanding the advantages and challenges of both learning methods helps students adapt better and make informed discussion about their education. Overview of the pros and cons. Both traditional and blended learning have strengths and weaknesses. First, traditional learning provides direct teacher-student interaction, immediate feedback, a structure and discipline environment, more social engagement with classroom. However, it may lack flexible, especially for students who work or live far from campus. Blended learning provides greater flexibility, access to record lecturers, integrate of digital tools, opportunity for independent learning. But it also comes with the challenges like internet connection issue, the need of strong self-discipline, reduced face-to-face social interaction. Neither system is perfect and both have their place in modern education. What our group will discuss. In this presentation, our group will explore both presentable in more details. First, the next speaker will focus on traditional learning, explaining how it works, its strength, its challenge, and real-life classroom experience. Then, our third member will discuss blended learning in Japan, including online tools, flexibility, and the challenges students may face. Finally, our last member will compare both learning methods directly, analyze which may be more effective for online students, and discuss the further of education as technology continue to grow. In conclusion, education is evolving. The debate between traditional learning and blended learning is not about choosing one of the other, but about understanding how each method impacts students differently. As technology continues to shape our world, the way we learn will also continue to change. The key question is not just which method is better, but which method works best for different type of student in different situation. Thank you. Now I will pass it to our next speaker to discuss traditional learning in more detail. Thank you.
Hello and good day everyone. I'm Darshini and today I'll be presenting about traditional learning perspective, which is face-to-face approach. Today I'll be presenting the traditional learning perspective as part of our cooperative study on blended learning versus traditional learning. Traditional learning refers to a face-to-face teacher-led instructional approach that takes place in a physical classroom. In this setting, students and teachers interact directly. Lessons follow a fixed schedule and learning typically occurs in a structured and organized environment. For many generations, this has been the standard method of education and even today, it remains widely practiced across schools and universities worldwide. Let me begin by explaining how traditional learning works. In traditional learning classroom, the teacher delivers lessons in person, often using textbooks, whiteboards, presentations, or printed materials. Students attend classes according to a timetable, listen to explanation, take notes, ask questions, and participate in discussions. Assessment, such as quizzes and examinations, are conducted physically in the classroom. The teacher is physically present to guide, monitor, and evaluate students throughout the learning process. From my personal experience, face-to-face learning creates a strong sense of discipline and focus. When I attend physical classes, I feel more accountable because I must be present on time and prepared. The classroom environment reduces distraction compared to learning from home. It also encourages active participation, especially during group discussion and presentations. Now, let's look at the strengths of traditional learning. The first major strength is direct teacher-student interaction. These interactions allows immediate communication. If a student does not understand a concept, they can raise their hand and ask for clarification right away. Teachers can observe students' facial expression and body language to determine whether they are confused or engaged. This real-time communication strengthens understanding and builds meaningful relationship between teachers and students. The second strength is about structured learning environment. Traditional classrooms operate according to a clear timetable. Students follow a routine, arriving at school, attending lessons, completing activities, and submitting assignments on time. This structure prompts discipline, time management, and responsibility. For younger learners especially, routine helps them develop learning habits and consistency. The third important strand is immediate feedback. In face-to-face issue classes, teacher can correct mistakes instantly. For example, during a mathematics lesson, if a student solves a problem incorrectly on the board, the teacher can guide them step by step to identify whether they went wrong. Immediate feedback prevents misconception from continuing and supports faster improvement. Additionally, traditional learning promotes social interactions. Students engage in group discussion, debates, presentations, and collaborative projects. These interactions help develop communication skills, teamwork, and confidence. Learning becomes a shared experience rather than an isolated one. However, despite these strengths, traditional learning also has several challenges. One major challenge is limited flexibility. Students must be physically present at a specific time and place. This can be difficult for students who live far from school, have transportation issues, or face health-related concerns. If a student misses a class, they may struggle to catch up because the lesson cannot be replayed like an online recording. Another challenge is attendance and punctuality. In traditional learning, consistent attendance is essential. Missing even a few classes can create learning gaps. Unlike online platforms where materials are often accessible anytime, traditional learning relies heavily on being physically present. A third challenge is the limited integration of technology, which, although many schools now use projectors or smart boards, traditional classrooms may still depend largely on textbooks and printed worksheets. This can make learning less interactive for students who are accustomed to digital tools, multiple content, and online resources. In today's digital era, students often expect more technology-enhanced learning experience. Now, let's consider some real-world examples of traditional learning. In most schools, students sit in physical classrooms arranged in rows or groups. Teachers explain lessons in the front of the class. Examinations are conducted in person under supervision to ensure fairness and academic integrity. Practical activities such as science experiments, art projects, role plays, and classroom debates take place face-to-face. These hands-on and interactive experiences are strong features of traditional education. For example, in a science laboratory session, students can conduct experiments under the direct supervision of the teacher. The teacher ensures safety, provides instruction, and gives immediate correction if necessary. This type of guided physical interaction is something that purely online learning may find difficult to replicate fully. To conclude, traditional learning remains a powerful and effective method of education. Its greatest strength lies in direction, interaction, structured environment, immediate feedback, and social engagement. These elements support strong academic and personal development. However, it also faces challenges such as limited flexibility, attendance dependency, and restricted use of technology. In today's rapidly evolving educational landscape, understanding both the strengths and weaknesses of traditional learning is important. This allows us to evaluate how blended learning may complement traditional methods by combining face-to-face interaction with digital flexibility. In summary, traditional learning provides a solid foundation for education. While it might not be perfect, its core strengths continue to play a crucial role in shaping effective teaching and meaningful learning experience. So thank you, that's all from me.
Hello everyone, I'm Sharni and today I will share my perspective as a blended learning advocate. Blended learning is an approach that combines face-to-face classes with online learning. It integrates traditional teaching with digital tools to create a more flexible and student-centered learning experience. One major strength of blended learning is flexibility. Students can access notes, record lectures, and materials anytime. If we miss a live class, we can watch the recording later. This is especially helpful for working adults and online students because it allows us to balance studies with other responsibilities. Another strength is the use of learning management systems such as Google Classroom, Moodle, or Canvas. This platform organizes assignments, quizzes, and announcements in one place. Online quizzes also provide immediate feedback, helping students improve quickly. This encourages independent learning and better time management. However, blended learning also has challenges. Internet connectivity issues can distribute live classes like Zoom sessions. It also requires strong self discipline because students must manage their own learning. Additionally, reduced face to face interaction may affect social connection among students. In real life practice, blended learning can involve Zoom lectures combined with physical classes, while material and discussions are shared through online platforms. This combination supports collaboration, critical thinking, and digital literacy, which are important 21st century skills. In conclusion, blended learning combines the strengths of traditional and online education. Although there are challenges with proper support and responsibility, it can create a flexible and effective learning environment. Thank you.
Good day, Miss. My name is Nevida, and today I will be explaining about the comparison, conclusion, and also future implications. So, now I will be presenting the comparison between blended learning and traditional learning, followed by the conclusion and future implication for education. First, let's look at the direct comparison. Traditional learning refers to the face-to-face classroom method where teaching happens physically in school. The teacher explains, students listen, take notes, and complete activities in class. Blended learning, on the other hand, combines both face-to-face teaching and online learning. Students learn partly in the classroom and partly through digital platforms such as videos, learning apps, or online discussions. So the next point is effectiveness for online students. When we compare effectiveness for online students, blended learning is more suitable. This is because fully traditional learning depends on physical presence. If students cannot attend school, they miss lessons. But blended learning allows flexibility. Students can access recorded lessons, digital notes, and online tasks anytime. This helps students revise at their own pace and improves understanding. So, for online or distance learners, blended learning is clearly more effective. Next, the point is student engagement. So, student engagement in traditional classroom, engagement depends a lot of the teacher's teaching style. Some students may feel shy to ask questions and lessons can become passive. Blended learning increases engagement because it uses multimedia tools like videos, quizzes, animations, and interactive games. These tools make lessons more interesting and suit different learning styles such as visual and auditory learners. Online forums and chats also encourage students to participate more, even those who are usually quiet in class. Therefore, blended learning often creates higher students' engagement compared to traditional methods. So, the learning outcomes. Okay, let's see the compare learning outcomes. Traditional learning provides strong discipline, structure, and immediate teacher guidance. This is beneficial for foundational knowledge and classroom control. However, blended learning improves independent learning skills, critical thinking, and digital literacy. Students learn how to research, collaborate online, and manage their own learning time. Studies shows that when both methods are combined, students perform better academically because they receive the benefits of both face-to-face support and digital resources. For the future of education, looking ahead, the future of education is moving strongly toward blended and hybrid learning models. First, hybrid learning will continue to grow. Schools and universities are already combining physical classes with online platforms. This makes education more flexible and accessible. Second, there will be more technology integration. Tools like artificial intelligence, which means AI, virtual reality, learning analytics, and smart classroom will become common. These technologies can personalized learning based on each student's level and progress. Third, digital skills will become as important as academic knowledge. Students must be prepared to use technology responsibly and effectively. That's all from me. Thank you, Miss.